Most people think that making money in crypto is all about finding the next altcoin gems or gambling on a low-cap meme coin, which is true, but super risky. Crypto completely ignores the rules of investing, and instead, we all in on a low-cap meme coin called SPSC, which sounds professional, but it's just actually shit-piss skin can. Now, don't get me wrong, if you get lucky, you could make it big, but it's absurd if you think that you can consistently make money like this, well, unless you're a big influencer with no problem of dumping on your followers. So let's get back to how investing should be. Finding a legitimate, profitable business with good projections and invest in their stock. The first company in the spotlight is Circle. Thanks to real-world assets and Ondo Finance in particular, anyone can now freely buy and sell Circle stock and other stocks as well on exchanges like Binance. I'll leave the link down in the description so you can check it out. Now, if you're new to CRCL or just looking for an analysis on this one, I'm going to break down what CRCL is and how CRCL could become one of the biggest winners in the stablecoin boom. So like and subscribe to CryptoNinjas for more contents like this. Thank you very much. First, let's recap on the Circle's history. Circle was founded in 2013 by entrepreneur Jeremy Allaire. At the time, crypto was still a very small industry, and Circle was not trying to build a stablecoin. No, instead, the original vision was much bigger. The company wanted to build financial infrastructure for the internet, but the real turning point came in 2018. That's when Circle partnered with Coinbase to launch a new digital dollar called USDC. Since then, USDC has grown from a niche tool for crypto traders into a core part of the crypto ecosystem, powering crypto trading, DeFi markets, cross-border payments, on-chain finance, and more than that. After years of rapid growth, Circle went public via a SPAC merger, effectively its IPO, and its shares are now traded under the ticker CRCL, giving investors access to one of the largest stablecoin issuers in the world. Now, here's where things gets interesting. Most people assume that Circle makes money from transaction fees, but that's not where the real revenue comes from. Circle makes money from interest income. When users hold USDC, the underlying dollars are placed into reserves because Circle USDC is pegged 1-to-1 to dollar. These reserves are mostly invested in short-term US Treasury bills and cash equivalents via the Circle Reserve Fund managed by BlackRock. So now we have these three bald men managing our money. Yeah, they look like Pokemon evolutions. Like Brian is the starter base form, then Jeremy is the second form, and Larry is the final form. Right? Not based on their age, though it's valid, but on the amount of hairs they've got on their head. SoPump is the best on-chain Solana gambling website available to play on. It's my go-to when the markets are down and the trenches are lacking. All you gotta do to play is just connect any Solana wallet like Phantom or Backpack, then bet directly out of your wallet on any of their games. You can play their 50-50 Solana coin flip game, on-chain Solana blackjack, and crash. You can also get free rewards every day like this free Solana case and hourly Solana airdrops. They also have their very own token SoPump that you earn on every single bet. Now, if you want to play where I play, come to SoPump and type in my code CNJ. Now, let's get back to the video. So how does Circle make money? Well, in simple terms, when billions of dollars are sitting behind USDC, Circle earns interest on those billions. So the business model is actually very simple. More USDC in circulation means more reserves. More reserves means more interest income because Circle put those reserves in banks to generate interest, which means Circle's profits now grow when both stablecoin adoption and interest rates increase. Now, Circle is not the only company in the stablecoin world. Its main competitor is Tether, which has been the leader for years because of its huge trading volume and liquidity. Also because Paolo looks like the final mega evolution, because his head is full of hair. Yeah, you're right, I'll stop. Circle chose a different path. Instead of trying to beat Tether at its own game, it focused on building trust and transparency with USDC, a digital dollar that institutions can rely on. Tether still has the largest share of the market, around 58 to 60%, with a market value of about $184 billion. USDC, on the other hand, holds about 25 to 30% of the market and is now worth roughly $78-79 billion. The interesting part is that USDC is growing at a much faster pace. In 2025, its supply grew by 72%, while Tether's grew by only 36%. USDC even reached an all-time high in circulation while Tether actually shrank a little bit. Then something happened that completely changed Circle's business. After the pandemic, the Federal Reserve started raising interest rates like aggressively. Rates went from nearly 0% to over 5% in just such a short period of time. And suddenly, the economics of stablecoins looked very different. Because remember, every USDC in circulation is backed by real dollars sitting in reserves, and those reserves are mostly invested in short-term US treasuries. So when interest rates jumped, those billions of dollars sitting behind USDC suddenly started generating massive amounts of yield. That is when Circle's revenue really started to explode. In Q4 2025, the company recorded about $770 million in total revenue and reserve income. That represented a 77% increase, which compared to the previous year. And most of that money came from reserve income alone. Reserve income reached $733 million, which was a 69% increase year over year. What makes this even more interesting is that the reserve return rate actually fell slightly around to, 3.8%. So how did Circle make more money while the interest rate went down? Isn't their income model depends heavily on rate going up? Well, it's because the total amount of USDC in circulation grew rapidly. On average, about $79 billion of USDC were in circulation. So even with a slightly lower return rate, the much larger pool of reserves generated more income overall. But of course, if interest rates were to drop lower and faster, then the yield generated from those reserves could fall harder than USDC's speed of expansion, and that would directly impact Circle's revenue. Okay, so with all this talk, why should you pay attention to Circle stock? Well, there are a few key reasons, and they all come back to one bigger trend, that is the rise of stablecoins. First is the growth of USDC. The stablecoin market is expanding rapidly, and USDC is one of the most active digital dollars on-chain today. Some projections even suggest that it could pass that level as early as 2026, making it the most active digital dollars. And if that happens, the amount of money sitting inside of Circle's stablecoin reserves would grow dramatically. Second is the institutional adoption. Now, another reason why investors are interested in Circle is institutional adoption, obviously. Over the past few years, USDC has built a reputation as one of the most trusted stablecoins in the world. The company is also positioning itself to operate within emerging stablecoin regulations such as Genius Act in the United States and the MiCA framework in Europe. And at the same time, USDC has been integrated into a growing number of financial platforms and crypto ecosystems. Like major institutions and applications are already building around it, including partnerships with firms like the BlackRock, obviously the stage 3 evolution guy, prediction markets such as Polymarket, and new blockchain infrastructure as well, which is designed for dollar-based settlements. All of this helps strengthen USDC's role as a trusted digital dollar inside the broader financial system. All of this helps strengthen USDC's role as a trusted digital dollar inside the broader financial system. And the final reason is the rapid growth. Another reason investors are excited about Circle is how well its business model scales. And as we saw earlier, that model has already produced very strong growth for the company. For many investors, this kind of scalable revenue model is very attractive. But there are always risks associated. Circle experienced a major stress test in 2023 during the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. Oh man, dark times. Part of USDC's reserves were temporarily stuck inside of the bank. When that news broke, panic spread across the crypto market. For a short period of time, USDC actually lost its dollar peg. The token that was supposed to equal $1 briefly traded below $1, and that got the panic trend going. The peg was eventually restored, obviously, but the event reminded the industry of something very important. That stablecoins may be digital, but their backing still depends on the traditional financial system. As of right now, Circle stock is trading around $110 per share. depending on recent market fluctuations, giving the company a market value of roughly $28 billion. So the real question is simple. Is Circle actually a good investment? Well, it depends on how three major forces evolve over the next few years. First, we have stablecoin adoption, USDC market share, and global interest rates. These three forces will ultimately decide how valuable Circle can become. And today, Wall Street analysts already have very different expectations on the stock. Across multiple analyst forecasts, the average 12-month price target for Circle is roughly around $130, with estimates ranging from $60 on the low end to as high as $247 on the bullish side. So let's break it down into two possible scenarios. First, the bull case. In the bullish scenarios, stablecoins continue expanding rapidly across trading, payments, and financial infrastructure. Some analysts believe that the stablecoin market could eventually reach $1 trillion or even more than that. If that happens and USDC captures a meaningful share of that growth, then Circle's reserves could expand dramatically. More reserves mean more income. But in that scenarios, investors might start valuing Circle less like a crypto company and more like a financial infrastructure platform similar to payment networks. That is why some analysts have price targets well above $200 per share if the stablecoin industry grows as expected. But there is also a bearish scenario. Circle's revenue model is heavily tied to interest rates. If the Fed cuts rates aggressively, the yields generated from USDC reserves could decline. At the same time, competition from Tether could continue dominating global trading liquidity, and regulators could introduce new rules that reshape the stablecoin industry. If those risks materialize, the growth of USDC could slow down. Some analysts therefore place much more conservative targets around $60 to maybe even $90, reflecting concerns about valuation and interest rate sensitivity. Now, personally, I think Circle is one of the more interesting companies in crypto right now, not because it is launching a new token, but because it sits at the center of a much bigger trend, the digitization of the US dollars. If stablecoins keep growing, companies like Circle could quietly become some of the most important infrastructure in the entire crypto economy. But the future is still uncertain. Competition is intense, regulation is evolving, and interest rates will play a huge role. So what do you think? Could Circle become one of the biggest winners of the stablecoin boom? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video about Circle, make sure to like and subscribe for more. I'll see you in another video. Thank you so much for watching, and daily out.